Good afternoon, Greater Heartland. Great to see you all or have you all join us on this live stream. And today we're talking about setting up Google My Business. So I brought the pro in on Google My Business, and full disclaimer here, I am learning along with you today. Jody, introduce yourself. My apologies.
So my name's Jody Cantrell. I work out of Joplin, Missouri as the MCTT.
Yes, you do. And you're awesome. And so Jody was sharing with our Market Center Tech Trainer community of how well she's trained her agents in setting up their Google My Business. And so we had questions and we discovered a lot. I was like, hey, we got to get this out there for our agents. There's too much value for free that we have to share. So before we go into the how to set this up, well, let's touch on the why. For one, when we're going through the training that Keller Williams provides, one of the fundamental courses, the basic courses to set up your business is Ignite. And when we're talking about setting up your database, knowing that your database is your business, as you start adding contacts, as you start communicating with them to build those relationships, we do want to build a culture, right? As we tend our database over time, we want to build a culture around testimonials and reviews. And I think oftentimes, Jody, especially as newer agents or agents that are looking to take their business to the next level, it's like, well, how do I create that culture? How do I do that? Right. And so the cool thing is you get to do this for free. You don't have to pay any other, while there is other great tech out there that helps you with this, we could easily do it in Google My Business, right?
Yep, absolutely.
So we'll talk about Google My Business for reviews. What other goodness comes out from setting up the Google My Business?
Well, you just appear on Google for one. So if somebody goes and searches your name with your location, if you have a Google My Business page, it's going to pop up right there on the side of the screen.
Yeah, okay. We get a lot of questions about that as tech trainers. Is like, hey, where am I showing up on Google search results? Which is important, right? We want to come off as professional. And if somebody meets us in an open house and Googles us, we don't want to have them to go to the third page to see that we actually exist, right? So as soon as you set up this Google My Business and they search for you, we can do that in a way that you show up at the top, right?
Yep.
Cool.
Absolutely.
And there's some other little fun tidbits that we'll learn along the way, right?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Well, let's get at it. Let's go ahead and I'll share the stream here and take it away, Jody. I'm excited.
All right. So first things first is you'll want to have a Gmail account set up. So if you are using your KW email, that does work because that is run through Gmail accounts. So you can come in here, and all I did to set up my Google My Business is Google My Business. And it's going to take you to this one's the ad, but they're all on here. So I'm going to click on this one.
You Googled Google.
I Googled Google for sure. I do that a lot, actually. And then it's going to pop you over to this screen. So if you're already signed in, you can hit Manage Now. But if you're not signed in, you can just hit Sign In and it'll take you to the same place. So I'm going to hit Manage Now. And basically, just going to walk you through the steps of setting up Google My Business. So first, it's going to ask you, what is your business name? So we decided that we wanted to call it Charlie Brown. I'm going to call it Pumpkin Real Estate.
Oh, yeah. We can call it Pumpkin. Yeah, we're being thematic here, right? It's all time.
It's fall, y'all.
Yeah, chilliest day of the season so far, at least. So
yes. So you're going to hope that somebody else doesn't already have your business name. And if they don't, it's going to ask you to create.
Actually, Jody, as you're logging in there, I think it's sharing the window. Maybe just a tab.
Can you not see where it's showing Google?
I still see stand out on Google with a free business profile.
Okay. Let me stop sharing.
I need to share a different one.
Yeah.
Oh, good. And that's an important note. As you're creating your business name, you have some flexibility here. And just a note while Jody's sharing the screen there, while we're talking about information you're putting on your website, you do want to make sure that you're checking with your broker and your market center leadership to best inform you what the policies and procedures, what address do you put, what name, doing business as name do you need to put, any other marketing requirements that are required by your association or your state. That's going to be really important. So we'll show you the how to put all the information and setting it up. And yet that specific information for marketing for your market center, you'll need to understand that for sure.
Absolutely. Because you want to make sure that you're compliant.
Yeah, sure do.
All right, so I'm going to start over since I was sharing the wrong
Sorry about that. We're talking about Charlie Brown. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
It's the buzz around our house with our 3 kiddos right now.
When you're here, it'll actually open you up to a new page and take you here where you type in your business name. So it's going to ask you for your business name here. And like I said, Charlie Brown is what I'm going to call it. And then from here, we're going to pick a business category. So, of course, we're in real estate. You won't just see real estate pop up. So I always say, you know what? You can pick real estate agent. You can pick real estate agency. Either one is fine.
All right.
Next. And it's going to ask you, would you like to add a location? So this is where you want to type in the address of your market center. So don't put in your home address, things like that. You want to make sure that you are being compliant if that is a rule of your market center and of KWRI. So I'm going to put yes. And then you just type in the address.
And Jody, what I'm engaging from this, I mean, it's fairly simple, right? So, I mean, it takes you step by step through this kind of little guide.
Absolutely.
It's handy.
Yeah, there's very little room for error when you're doing this.
I like that.
And the next question is, do you provide deliveries or home or office visits? So if you are going to people's houses to look at their listings, I would say, yes, you do provide office visits, right? Or home visits. Because you can have buyers come to your market center and you can go to their home if you wanted to. And then you can add the areas that you serve. So in our area, we serve Joplin, Missouri. And you'll have to type in each one separately and select the drop-down menu. I'm only going to pick the core ones that we work with, but we work with other areas like Carthage and stuff. So if you work with multiple areas, you can add all of those areas in there.
And of course, Jody, when you're adding these, it triggers a thought in my mind. Because we do receive a lot of questions from agents of, hey, well, if they don't search my name, but if they search realtor in Webb City, Missouri, or Carl Junction, Missouri, like where will I show up? And while that is important, that opens up a whole world called SEO, search engine optimization. And part of the reason why we get to have this free service is this gets us a little bump in helping showing up in searches that our present websites aren't designed for. Yet just by doing this isn't going to, if somebody searched realtor or real estate in Joplin, Missouri, you're going to show up at the top. There's no guarantee there.
One thing I will note is that if you are adding a location, you also get a map location too. So that's another handy tip of getting on a Google search, higher in a Google search. So if you're choosing where you don't have a location, you won't show up on the Google map. So that is one thing to consider when you are building your Google My Business.
That's too good. Yeah, I need to remember that.
So phone number is next. I guess I didn't need that space. Once again, make sure that you're being compliant. I always tell agents you are welcome to put your phone number there because we can go and add the office phone number in a different spot in the description. So if this is really important to you to where if they hit call on your Google My Business page and you want it to go to your cell phone, you can add that number there and we'll just put in the office phone number somewhere else.
Love that.
And then website URL. So if you don't have a website, of course, you're not going to put anything in here, but I do recommend that you go in and maybe just use the KW command website that you have available to you. That way you can actually have some URL traction and that SEO will come into handy. And it's going to tie your Google My Business page to your website. So that will come in more handy for you to get higher on a Google search.
Love that.
But I'm going to go, I don't need a website right now because I've already used our office website for something else.
All right. So that verifies you really quickly. Any tips if while it's being verified, will it confirm through your email or?
It just depends. Sometimes it'll give you a phone call. Sometimes it will send you a postcard with a verification number on there. So it's just kind of based on the information that you are inputting for your Google My Business page. If it does send you a postcard, I will tell you it takes about 5 days for that postcard to show up to your location. So
fascinating. Cool.
And then you can add your services. This actually lets you create your own services. So I can put residential real estate. And then your business hours. So once again, make sure that you are following your compliance rules for your office. Our office requires all of our agents to have the same business hours as our actual market center. And it does make you fill out for each individual one and not copy. So a little bit of manual input here.
Yeah. All right.
I'm just going to copy and paste.
There you go. I mean, if we're bringing that back to the conversation, right? If there's folks who are meeting open house, folks that may not be in our database yet, or we're growing it, we kind of set an expectation right here of these are my business hours. This is how I've time blocked my business and purposeful in serving you and getting you where you need to go.
And they also have this cool little feature where if you download the app on your phone, the Google My Business app, people can actually send you messages through the app and you can reply to them.
That's another cool nugget.
Right? Isn't that awesome? So you can choose to accept messages or you can toggle this off if you wanted to. So I'm just going to leave it on because why not?
Yeah. Somebody's Google me and want to message me. I'll allow that.
And they also have another cool app or a cool feature on here to turn on call history so you can see who's called you and what kind of missed calls that you've had on the app.
Cool. So will it call through the app and connect to your phone, or how does that work? Or is it just call the number that you put on?
Yeah, so if they go on and search you on Google and hit that button where we first input that phone number, right? So it'll track that phone number and say, okay, this many people have called through the Google My Business page, and this is the number that it's from, and these are the people that you had a missed call from.
That's awesome.
Yeah. All right, so as I was saying earlier, if you're, and I'm guessing every market center because KWRI requires you to have the office phone number on there as well. So if you put your phone number on that first part, we can come in here and put that second office phone number in here if we wanted to. But I actually used our brokerage number on here. So I will add in a description though. Test.
All right.
And then from here, you can add photos. It will not let you move on without adding a photo in there. So this would be a great spot to put your headshot in or the logo in or anything like that.
Yeah. Or if you're strapped for an image, if you don't have a headshot yet, logo just yet, if you're just starting out, go into designs, go into command, right? In the bottom left-hand side, you got the designs icon. Go find an awesome design.
Let's see if I can find a design.
There you go.
I don't know if I have any photos on here. I got so many things. Let's see here. I might just have to pick something random for the time being.
All right. Well, and while you're finding a photo there, Jody, while we were kind of prepping for this, you'd shared something really cool about photos. Be able to share those and as posts. Is this the post piece?
Yeah, so this actually ties into not the post specifically, but just the photos that you can share for your Google My Business profile. So, and we'll talk about that here in a second.
Okay, cool.
I'm just going to pick this random softball picture here.
All right.
Once that uploads, I can hit next because it does only require the one. And then it asks you if you want to claim $100 free of advertising credit. So if you wanted to run Google ads, this is a great spot to get $100 free, which they email you all the time if you never claim this in the first place. So one thing I will note is that if you are using your KW email to build your Google My Business profile, it will not allow you to use that KW email for Google ads.
It's true. That is true. Yeah. So if you intend on using this Google My Business for ads, use a separate Gmail account.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And then that's it.
Love it. So
we
we're
made
done.
it.
That's awesome.
And
Okay.
now it's pending.
Okay. So if it's pending, how typically long?
It says it could take up to 3 days to publish, but I've always found it's like the very next day that it'll publish. So unless you got something kind of weird about your profile, it usually doesn't take very long to publish. So,
Gotcha.
but this is what it looks like when you get there.
Awesome. So this is really phenomenal. So we've got that there. And so now that it's established, what's best practice for agents to begin leveraging this free tool?
So until this actually becomes an actual post here, like if you want to start collecting reviews and stuff like that, it actually has to be a live site. So you can't really do much at this point until it's actually gone live. So let me actually share a different screen.
Okay.
Because I do have my other business pulled up here. So.
All right, great. And Jody, while you're bringing that up, I just searched Keller Williams Joplin, and yeah, your agents have gotten to work on this. This is awesome. I see dozens upon dozens of Google business pages.
Yep.
And I'll share that whenever. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So pretty much everyone in our market center has a Google My Business page. There was an issue at first where like if you try to use the same address as our market center, it wouldn't let you. So we had to get creative with that. But now Google's like, okay, everybody works at the same building. It's fine. So that was nice. All right. So this is what it looks like when it's an actual live. Can you all see my Williams? Okay. So this is actually what it looks like when it goes live and you're actually able to do things. So it starts tracking things. So it's going to tell you how many people have viewed your Google My Business page or searches, activity on your page as far as website visits and calls and stuff. So it actually tracks all that information for you so you can go through and kind of get creative and post things and add pictures and everything. So as far as collecting reviews, you do have a specific link that you can share in an email. When you do business with a client, you can send an email and says, hey, I would love a Google review. Here's my business profile link. All I have to do is follow that link. And it'll take them directly to your Google My Business page where they can easily put in a review for you. So
love that. Well, and so here's the great thing about this. And I think whoever might be watching this or tuning in Zoom, one, if you have questions for us, even if you're not watching it live and you're watching this later point, go ahead and put those comments. We will get to those and get you an answer. And I think part of the hesitation for some newer agents, or maybe they've been in business for a while, just haven't felt like they have enough business to do reviews. Close transactions that don't necessitate a review, right? Anybody can review you on Google Business, right? They don't have to be closed transactions. And the way I like to think about it is, and communicate it is, we've already poured so much lead generation. However long we've been building relationships, I've been lead generating for that long, right? And so capitalize on those relationships. Say, hey, I've just got my Google Business page. Will you please go and review it? Here's a simple structure. It might be helpful to say, hey, just 3 quick points. How, speaking to character, or how you would trust me in a real estate transaction. So one that reviews there, right? Which is handy, that as people Google search in, they want to see how many stars you got. You get to buffer that to get way high from the people that already know, like, and trust you. And a little side benefit, you're anchoring in with those people that are doing the reviews that you are their real estate agent of choice, right?
Yeah, so that's a good point. Like, it doesn't have to be a closed transaction. It could be somebody that you just had a really good conversation with and be like, hey, you know what? I'm glad I was able to help you with whatever you needed help with. Would you mind going and giving me a Google review?
Yeah, I love that.
Other cool things is it's pretty similar to social media. You can create posts. So pretty easy to go in. If you had a blog that you wanted to share or a video that you wanted to share, you can actually come in here and create a post. So I go to post and I hit this little icon here in the corner. And it's going to ask me what I want to post. So they do have a COVID-19 update. So if your office is closed and maybe it comes open or something like that, you can make an update for it. Offers. I've never used this, but maybe you had a listing and you wanted to create an offer for it or anything like that. What's
Ooh, I
new,
like
this is
that.
a great space to create, like, if you had a blog post that you wanted to share, or if you did a really cool video, you can actually come in here and share on that. The other cool thing about this is, one, you can write a little blurb about your post, but you can add a button. So maybe you want them to book an appointment with you, or order something online, or learn more, where it takes them to a designated link, or sign up where it takes them to a page to sign up for something, or call now, where if they click that button, it'll have them call you.
So, Jody, a big possible light bulb moment here. If you put out an offer, or if you put in a post there, is
Mhm.
there a direct link that will take them to that offer? I'm assuming.
If you had like a page that you had where they could, an offer page or something like
Uh-huh.
that, you could put that link in there. Yes.
Okay, great. Because my thought is we've talked about this a little bit. It's had a little bit of a buzz recently
Hmm.
as we're experiencing again, of course, another shift in our markets as we're receiving
Hmm.
is the term MOFIR. And so MOFIR being make offer for immediate response. The Shift book speaks of this of as we're reaching out or as we're marketing, as we're having conversations for everyone, make an offer, but also make
Hmm.
an offer for immediate response, something they can respond to right then and there. Give it a time, a deadline for
Hmm.
whatever offer it is. So if you have polished a MOFIR and you've been communicated open houses or email campaigns, direct it to your Google business page, or as you're having conversations like, yeah, go check out my Google My Business. The offer's there. You can capitalize on it and get
Hmm.
moving forward.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Wow.
And then one of the other ones that I use quite a bit is this event page, where, like, if I wanted to post that we're having an open house or a client event or something, I could create a post specifically for that event. So.
Yeah. I love it. Well, again, I'm blown away. One, because it's free and it works so well with anything that you currently have in your business. And we're all about free and reducing your
Mhm.
costs for your business. Yet there's going to be best practices. There's going to be ahas like, oh, I hadn't thought about doing that, or that's a really neat take on products. I say that because, and I'll share my screen real quick if that's all right.
Mhm.
Um, Go and Google real estate businesses and do the same thing. Just say real estate. For this instance, while I'm sharing my screen on this one here, I just Googled Keller Williams Joplin, or just real estate in a certain area, and get some ideas of how folks are really being purposeful with their Google My Business. I just clicked on the top one here with Bonnie. She's got 18 reviews, great high ratings, which is awesome. She's got on-site services, no online appointments. But one thing that made me like, oh, that's a great idea. Products. What her listing inventory is, she's putting her products. I was like, that's brilliant. Like, if you want to see all my listings right now, just go to Google My Business and they're right there. I'm sure she has a system around that.
Mhm.
Um, this is just really awesome. I just, my mind will be spinning on how we can actually use this really well. So this is cool.
Yeah, and so what those posts look like is, if they go to your Google My Business, they just show up here at the bottom from the owner.
Oh yeah, it helps if, did I share my screen?
I don't know.
I don't think I did. I'm sorry. I Google Keller Williams Joplin, and here's like all the goodness that you've helped people create, right? And so here's Bonnie, and here's her little products, her little
Mhm.
listings here. I thought it was awesome.
Yep.
Helps hit the share button, Clark.
We might just
um,
need to start this over. I've messed up once. You've messed up. We're all good.
we're good.
Technology.
Yeah,
Our tech
all
trainers
good.
here. We like to have fun. It's okay.
Absolutely.
We make mistakes too.
Absolutely. Yeah, especially learning the first time, like just get in there and take action, right? It doesn't have to be the
Right.
perfect, doesn't have to be, you don't have to have
Ah!
everything filled out. I just roll with it. So Jody, any last pieces here as you've helped so many agents build their business through Google My Business, questions that they've received, or um, last parting encouragements?
I would say just go ahead and build one. Honestly, one other thing that I wanted to note before you take off is we're talking about photos and how it made me put a photo in there first,
Uh-huh.
right? So
Yep.
I made a comment to you before we started our recording that I have a photo that's got like 30 some thousand views on it. I don't know how, but that's how many views. And I have several photos on there, and like some of them have like, 1,000, some of them have like 500, and then I got these like three or four that have just thousands and thousands of views.
Wow.
So I
That
actually
is,
wanted to show that
oh yeah.
real fast. Because there are all kinds of other things on here that you can utilize. You could even build yourself a website through Google My Business if you wanted to. But
And
Just
so
the
this Google
simple
My, is this your
posting.
Market Centers page or
Yeah.
Google My? Okay.
Yep. So I've gone in here and I've just added photos through, events that we've had and things that we've done, Red Day stuff. And like I said, there's photos that have like 78 views, 32 views, but then I got photos that have 1.98 thousand, 5.25 thousand, higher and higher as you go along because these photos have been on here for a while and they just keep getting views and views and views, helping you get higher on Google searches. So
Yeah, I
the
just
more
saw
that
one
you're
for
utilizing,
11,000.
yeah, 8,000.
Wow. Now, do you, kind of on the spot question, do you get any insights of where those folks were looking or who they were or anything? Or
No, it
no?
just tells you how many photo views that you've had. So
Yeah. Still,
then
that's
you
pretty
can add
remarkable.
videos on this part too. So if you had videos that you wanted to share just under your, about me kind of things, you can add videos on there as well. So
I love that. Well, okay, so this might spur, Jody, thank you.
mhm.
And I know this is kind of a 101, right? So as you all are watching this, if you stayed with us here, appreciate, honor that time. And as you hear of other examples, or if you have other questions, come up with other ideas beyond just setting this up, of that you've either marketed yourself at a higher level, gotten
Mhm.
more awareness. I mean, 30,000 views on a photo is pretty awesome, right? Like, share those back with your Market Center Tech Trainer. We'd love to learn more. Maybe we can do a 201 class and then other best practices yet. Jody, that proved true. I knew I was going to learn a lot today. So you accomplished that, and I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Um, if you have any last pieces, you have any questions, put in the comments, reach out to your Market
Mhm.
Center Tech Trainer. We're here to help you grow your business. And that's our passion. And we'll catch you next time on our Greater Heartland Tech Trainer live stream.